We're back at Chatham Historic Dockyard for another round of Robotic Rampage. Last year the mighty Gizmo took home the Beetle Belt. Can they hold on to it, or will one of our other 47 competitors get the shot of glory? This is Robot Rebellion 2024. Hello and welcome to Robot Rebellion 2024, the home of UK robot combat here on Mech Plus and on YouTube. I'm your host, Jevon Woodrow.
And I'm Anderson Hill, co-host for this incredible event. I'm really excited to bring you guys the best Beetleweight combat this side of the globe.
Last year, Gizmo took home the title. Who this year will take home the Beetle Belt? We shall find out over the next few weeks. Let's see who's fighting in Heat A. In Heat A, we have the number 1 seeds, Gizmo the vertical spinner, Impulse the front hinge flipper, Flint the pusher, and Exhilarator the egg beater. More on these robots throughout the episode. Here's how the competition works. 4 robots enter into a round robin of matches, each fighting each other once, earning points as they go. The winner of the heat is the robot with the most points at the end of the episode, earning a spot in the round of 16 with second place heading into the play-ins for a last chance to qualify. In the event of a tied heat, a lockdown rumble will decide who moves through. The robots can earn 5 points for a knockout win, 4 for a judge's win, 2 for a judge's loss, and 1 for a knockout loss. And there you can see all 4 robots lined up in the leaderboards ready to go for tonight's competition. We start then with Aperture Robotics team's Impulse, the front hinge flipper with a high top speed, but I worry about those exposed wheels. They do say they have some extra protection for the front end should they need it. They are going up against Flint. Ivan of Team Reaper is a rookie to robot combat, never competed before. This pusher has a lot of armour and manoeuvrability, but no Shreemech or weapon to speak of. We join both in the arena. Loaded into the arena for our first fight of Heat A, we have Impulse, who's heading over to the blue square, and Flint, who is over in the red. Flint, a pusher robot, brand new to the competition, very young driver, but has built an awesome-looking machine. Impulse, robot somewhat of a veteran, the lifting forks. We shall see how well they do.
3, 2, 1, begin.
Here we go then, straight across the box, it's Impulse.
Very, very quick start there from Impulse, getting underneath with that front hinge flipper on top. Also those rear hinge lifting forks as well, pushing Flint into the sidewall and trying to topple it up on its rear end now.
Now that's a bit of a dangerous place to be for Flint because their removable link is under that front wedge. They'll want to not get caught there too much. Flint is trying to get out of the way of Impulse, but those forks just so low to the ground.
Impulse also incredibly well driven and, as you can tell, very, very quick across the arena, using those top forks as sort of like a snagging device and flipping Flint over. And I don't think they can self-right, Jevon.
I don't think they can either, but it looks like Flint is going to try and help them out. The pit button has been pressed in all the commotion, but it's all over. Out of the arena they go.
And that was a very, very impressive, very, very convincing win from Impulse.
A great first fight for our first heat.
Okay, we are here with the driver of Flint. How did that fight go?
I think I got flipped.
I think not only did you get flipped, but you ended up in the out of the arena zone. You have a slight design problem where when you're upside down, your wheels don't touch the ground. Was that something you didn't think of in the design, or something that's just you've realized it's happened?
Originally, it could, but our main wedge at the front broke, so we had to change it, and now it can't.
Well, commiserations. It was only the first fight. You've got a few more fights to go, so good luck in them. And we're here with Impulse. Impulse, good fight, good win?
Yeah, pretty good. That'll do.
Your flipper mechanism managed to actually hook underneath your opponent. Was that key?
Yeah, it was. It wasn't designed to do that, but throughout the last few competitions I've been to, that's something it's been able to sort of do. So I'll take that. That's a good thing.
And you had a nice moment where you tried to right your opponent to keep the fight going, but then you decided just to hoof them over the arena wall.
Well, so the end goal was to get them out, but if it righted them and got the fight going again, that's all right. You know, show at the end of the day. So
There we go, 1 win down, a few more fights to go. How confident are you?
we got Gizmo, so we'll see. That's going on now. We're gonna see what happens next.
All right.
Until we're in the arena, I think.
All right, well, good luck in those future matches.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
The second of our first round battles will see the number 1 overall seed and reigning champion Gizmo return to the arena. This disc spinner, very reliable weapon, but the TPU might flex to death apparently. They are taking on a veteran, but not seen in the last 3 years. This is Scott Deemer-Smith's Exhilarator 2.0. This egg beater has a good weapon and good armour, but the controls and experience they're lacking. We'll join them in the arena. Loading into the box, we have a fight between Gizmo and Exhilarator 2.0. Now Gizmo, the most sleep-deprived roboteer here. Gizmo was being worked on into the late hours yesterday, and it still looks fantastic.
I am really excited to see Gizmo in action here, Jevon, because it is the reigning Robot Rebellion champion, seeded first for the competition, and I'm excited to see the hits it can deliver. But I'm also excited to see Exhilarator back in the arena after, what was it, a 3-year hiatus?
It is. They were here for the very first Robot Rebellion, back when we called it the Chatham Challenge Belt. 3 years on, it's not changed all that much. Scott was talking to us earlier saying that he wants to get back into the scene. He's going to do some hard work on Exhilarator, but just didn't get the time for this event. So I look forward to seeing the future of Exhilarator, but very excited to see them back here. And they have a tough heat here.
They do, and it will be interesting to see how much robots have evolved in 3 years. Exhilarator was one of the heavy hitters back 3 years ago, although he's not very confident that it's going to be as successful this time, but we will wait and see. I'm very excited.
He beat my robot 3 years ago. That egg beater is mean.
Who hasn't beat your robot, though, Jevon,
Look,
at this point?
okay, don't at me. Don't at me. And where is your robot, Anderson?
Lost in post.
Yeah.
I just turn up and shout into a microphone. It's way more
It's
fun.
the better way. It's the better way.
Way less
Robot
stressful.
is stand
Gizmo in the
by.
blue square, Exhilarator in the red.
3, 2, 1. Begin.
Well, last year we saw Gizmo spin up in the corner in his first fight and then just win by exploding another robot. No such joy here, and he's stuck under a wall.
Oh, this could be a huge upset in the making here already. Gizmo, reigning champion, stuck in the side wall, being counted down.
This
and
is a huge
Exhilarator,
upset.
The outdated 3-year-old machine is about to beat the reigning champion.
That's an upset and a
Huge
half, ladies and
upset.
gentlemen. Those forks get stuck under the arena, and everybody who's a roboteer knows that those arena walls are as much a hazard as the Outer Zone and the Pit of Oblivion.
Alice, welcome back to the gaming festival with our competition. We do have the reigning champion here, first seed. However, that didn't really go according to plan now, did it?
Was that not a reigning champion type performance, as far as you're concerned?
I mean, it looks good. Yeah, I mean, considering you started building on Monday, was it?
Yeah, but I don't think what went wrong has got anything to do with that. I have a feeling I'm trialing a cheap transmitter, and I have a feeling the cheap receiver that connects to that might be a step too far. I have no idea what went wrong there. It's clearly electrical. Mechanically, it's all brand new, but the electronics are the same except the receiver from last year. So I have no idea what I'm going to go and do now. I'm going to have a sit and a think and maybe change to a different transmitter, but I don't have one. So
Right. Well, I mean, it was a disappointing first result. Hopefully, you can rein it back and show us what you're made of. Like from previous years, you've done pretty well, and yeah, fingers crossed that you can get it sorted out and get back into the arena and prove your worth.
cheers, thank you very much. Yeah, I have no idea what I need to do, but I'm going to go and do that now.
Okay, see you in a bit, Alice. Scott, you've been out for 3 years. Did I hear that correctly?
I've only ever had one fight, so this is my second fight. First fight was 3 years ago. Built this in 3 evenings. I was quite worried, to be fair.
There's
Number one seed.
there's a little bit of pressure going up against Ellis in your first fight. However, that was a win.
It was a win, yeah. I can't take the glory for that, unfortunately. I think he had a technical fault, but yeah, a great robot, and yeah, I'm looking forward to the next fight.
Good job. Do you need to make any improvements? Probably not. Like it wasn't really a lot of a fight, but
A little bit of damage on the side. I might pull the dents out. That's about it, really.
well, fingers crossed for your next fight, and I look forward to seeing you do that again.
Let's check in on the points. The leaderboard looks like this after round 1. Exhilarator and Impulse top the table with 5 points apiece. Flint and Gizmo of all robots down the bottom on 1 point each. They are up first then, Flint and Gizmo. It's going to be an interesting fight. Gizmo we saw struggling earlier on. Have they managed to fix the issues they spoke about in that interview? They look strong. They might be tired, but they do look strong. This Gizmo could go all the way still. We shall have to wait and see. They are up against the rookies Flint. This will be a trial by fire for them. But hey, if you're going to have your first introduction to robot combat, why not be thrown in at the deep end with the sharks and the piranhas and everything else that wants to eat you? We'll join both of these robots down in the arena. Loaded in for round 2 battle. We have the number 1 overall seeds Gizmo fighting for their life here. They lost their first fight after dying over by the out of the arena zone. They are fighting against newcomers Flint, the pushbot. They have a tough mountain ahead of them in Gizmo. This is going to be an interesting battle.
Yes, veteran versus rookie, reigning champion versus first-time competitor. I feel for Flint, I really do. Because Ellis is going to be desperate to prove what Gizmo could do in this fight.
3, 2, 1, begin.
Here we go, then up to speed is Gizmo. Flint just trying to get out of that corner. A little bit inexperienced on the driving, but manages to get into the front wedge of Gizmo, but that front wedge is being ripped to shreds. There are massive holes in the bottom of that robot.
This is what Ellis does best. Get the spin up to speed and just drive. Don't give the opponent any room to breathe and smash it to pieces. Ellis was desperate to prove what Gizmo, the reigning champions, could do, and has done so here.
That is the fight over, as we kind of expected. Unlucky for Flint, but that is their toughest fight out of the way, and they'll be, I think, somewhat relieved.
And knowing the camaraderie in the pits, I'm sure someone will be willing to give them a hand fixing it.
And of course, it's Ellis's job now to sweep up the mess he made.
Yep, that's the one rule of the arena. You make the mess, you clean it up.
Right, I got Ivan here with Flint, who's just come out of the arena against Gizmo. How scary was that?
I think I got absolutely shredded.
Can we turn it over to... I had words from the comms table to show off the damage. That is a very nasty gouge.
That's, if you look closer, you can see the battery, but luckily it didn't get the battery.
Yes, so very close in there is a lipo. If Ellis had hit that, that would have been, yes. It seems fairly tanky, actually. Like,
HDPE, and I think it's 10 mil thick.
So you took the hit, I will admit.
It's still working fully.
Fully working, so is it an easy repair job?
No, but I think we can get it in for the next battle.
Well, fingers crossed. That was very good. A very good effort, and not an easy one, must I add. Well, good luck. Get it repaired, and I want to see you do well, okay? Ellis, that is a bit more like it, isn't it? What do you want to say?
Well, it's a bit more of a Gizmo performance, I suppose. So, I mean, against the newcomers, I don't think I'm allowed to feel gleeful. That would be wrong, but I am at least pleased to say that it seems to be working as intended. All I changed was to the old faithful Fly Sky setup that loads of people are running rather than that experimental setup. And the receiver, therefore, I think must have been the issue in the previous fight. So hopefully now I've got the beginning of a reliable machine and I can go into the next one with some confidence.
I mean, in all fairness, having that chat with Ivan just now, he did say that it was fully functioning, just needs to be repaired. So it did take the hit.
Yeah, I could see that obviously the base plate had taken a lot of damage and one tyre was broken, but functionally it was fine. So once they fix the tyre, it will drive, and then it's essentially trying to get more armour back on. So pleased to say it's not written off. They'll get back in the arena fine. If I get time, I'll see if I can help.
Good job. Yeah, that was pretty textbook for you. Good to see that you've kind of ironed out them teething issues you had earlier. Fingers crossed, it'll be smooth sailing going here on in. So yeah, Good job, Ellis.
Cheers. Thanks. See you in the next one.
A classic trope of robot combat there, bullying the children into submission. Exhilarator is next to the arena. This egg beater proved its worth against Gizmo earlier. Maybe they got a little bit lucky. Perhaps we shall wait and see as this heat progresses. Can they go all the way after 3 years without competing? Impulse, they looked strong in their first fight. Can they keep the momentum going? That high top speed would suggest so. We shall find out as we join both Impulse and Exhilarator down in the arena.
Loaded into the box for our second round battle, we have Exhilarator 2.0, fresh off of a very surprise victory over Gizmo, the reigning champion in the last round, despite a 3-year hiatus from the tournament. And they're going up against Impulse, which defeated Flint by throwing out of the arena in a very, very impressive style.
Stand by. 3, 2, 1. Begin.
Very, very quick start there from Impulse, driving in and just slamming into Exhilarator, flicking it up and over, and again, very, very impressive machine, Impulse. The lifter, the drive, the power, it all comes together very nicely, and it proves that you don't need to have a big, heavy-hitting spinner in order to do well.
I was talking to the team from Impulse earlier on. They said last time they fought a big egg beater, it really did a number on their forks. They are not taking anything for granted here. They have to keep on top of Exhilarator, but they are ramming into that front end as best they can, and that is some bold attacking right there.
I think they're taking the fact that Exhilarator is a 3-year-old machine a little bit to their advantage here. They're just trying to feel it out a little bit, and they think they can just test the waters with it. Driving around, though, they're using good position driving, and if they can get Exhilarator on their rear end or on their side, it can be game over for the veterans.
Good push there from Impulse, trying to get the flip but doesn't quite do it, and Exhilarator now up to speed but pushed into another sidewall and it seems stuck. Can they shuffle their way down? There's a little bit of movement, they're trying their best.
That was a genuinely fantastic drive there. The count is started from referee Sean. Impulse waiting in case they do fall back down to get another drive in, but I don't think they're going to. I think it's game over for Exhilarator, or is it? They're back down!
They're down and they're still moving. The battle continues. High adrenaline stuff. Impulse right there, ready to attack once again and gets them propped up again.
A beautiful position driving there once again. Will they manage to get back this time? I don't think so. The spinner has stopped. The wheels still turning desperately. No, they've stopped as well now.
They're still trying, but I don't think there's any life in them. That is it. Impulse. Very tactical, very precise. Incredible control from them. They win the fight.
Okay, we are here with Exhilarator 2.0.
That's right, yeah.
You've just got bullied there.
I did, yes. Lucky enough to get off the wall the first time, but the second time not so lucky. So, yeah.
That was a very narrow escape you had propped up against the wall there.
He certainly can. Yeah, his manoeuvrability is great for the other guy, so he did very well.
Now this is the second time you've come back to the Ratchet tournament with a robot with a similar design with the egg beater weapon.
Correct, yes.
Do you see it as a good robot, or do you see more improvement?
I'm running at half speed at the moment, so I'm going to up the speed on the egg beater because it's not got enough lift. Whereas last time I was lifting quite a few robots, so yeah, I'll up the speed and try again.
And I can see on the front as well, you don't have any form of lifting fork or wedge.
I was overweight unfortunately, so I had to remove any of the forks. So maybe thinner armour next time, slightly different design, and some big forks would be good. Yeah.
Well, commiserations on this match. Hopefully your next match will do well for you.
Yeah,
thank you very much. Okay, we are here with Impulse. They're very noisy in the arena, so we're just going to have to try and yell over that. You are such a bully.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
You were propping them up on the wall, you were knocking them back down again, and you propped them back up again.
Yeah, it's the all you can do against the spinner. You've got to sort of smother them, make sure, just stop spinning. And yeah, all went to plan, so pretty good.
Certainly the fork weapons you got, very hard wearing, didn't take a lot of damage there.
I haven't had a look at it yet, but yeah, they seem to be fine. There's a couple of little bits taken out of the TPU front panels, but apart from that, it's all working good. On to Gizmo.
On to Gizmo indeed.
Yes.
What do you think your chances are up against the #1 seed and the current champion?
Just survive. I don't know. It's it's working good now. So what we saw in the first fight is not going to be very representative of what we're going to see in our fight, I think. So yeah, I reckon I can survive it, but I wouldn't bet my money on it.
Well, we never know, that lightning may strike twice. It is raining currently outside. You may hear it off the roof. But good luck in the tournament against Gizmo. And we'll see if you're back here as a winner or in pieces.
Time for another points update here on the table. This is what things look like at the end of this round. Impulse tops the table on 10 points. Exhilarator and Gizmo now tied on 6. Of course, Exhilarator above Gizmo because they won their first battle. Flint down the bottom on 2. This is all to play for, very much so. Impulse leads the heat, but they are catchable if Gizmo and Exhilarator can win their fights. We shall find out if they can, as Gizmo now faces top of the table Impulse. They are looking to win this one. If Impulse wins, they win the heat. Gizmo, they need this win to remain in contentions. This drift spinner has a lot to prove. Impulse, they've just got to keep Gizmo from winning here to take out the number 1 seeds. Not a tall order at all, is it? Let's join them both down in the arena. Good luck to them. Our next fight in Heat A sees Impulse taking on Gizmo. These two robots I have been looking forward to seeing fight almost all day because I think it's going to be an excellent fight. And if it isn't, they will have disappointed me.
Yeah, I definitely think this could potentially be a battle of not just the heat, but potentially even the series, to be honest. Gizmo, of course, is our reigning champion and number 1 seed, capable of causing serious damage to many robots with lots of good technological pieces. And Impulse is a very fast, hard-hitting, no-nonsense machine that can just do hit after hit after hit and take hit after hit after hit. I honestly can see this one going the distance, but then again, who knows? It could be a one-hit-and-done job. I mean, that's the fun with robot combat. Nothing is as predictable as it seems.
No, nothing is scripted. Everything you see here is real. Have some stats on me. Impulse is currently in the lead in the heat. They're on 10 points. Gizmo is in second place, joint with Exhilarator on 6. Flint is on 2. So this is a make or break for Gizmo. The number 1 seeds.
Well, last year, the number 1 seed and reigning champion Stratus lost at this stage. So it is potential, but I'm pretty... it could be make or break, like you said. I'm very excited to find out. Everything is literally on the line here for the reigning champions. No pressure.
I think that does mean that they're going to be gunning for this as hard as possible. Impulse have a tough fight ahead of them. It's Gizmo in the blue square, Impulse in the red. We are ready to do combat once again. Just a note.
Robot ears, stand by. 3, 2, 1, begin.
Here we go, box rush from Impulse, getting Gizmo startled at the start of this fight, but big hits back from Gizmo. Sees Impulse flying around the arena and out, and it's all over. Gizmo, clinical.
Proving there why they are the reigning champions and the number 1 seed. They took a huge hit at the start and thought, nah, that's enough, mate, and smacked them back twice as hard.
We are here with Gizmo, the current reigning champion for Robot Rebellion. Are the nerves getting to you?
The nerves are coming and going at a great rate, and I wish they would just calm down. But no, I'm generally really, really happy now. I was really worried about that fight. That was the fight I expected to lose in this heat. And because I lost my first fight terribly, I knew I had to win that one. And it went, in truth, a lot better than I expected. So I'm calming down now. But the adrenaline always hits me about 30 seconds after, so I shake about just after the fight. But no, really good.
Yeah, it was certainly a fast and frantic fight between the pair of you. As you said, you were concerned about that fight. Do you feel like that was one of the strongest robots in the field that you could have faced?
I would say definitely one of the strongest in the field, definitely one of the strongest non-spinners, because it's built like a brick, driven incredibly well, so you know it's going to keep going and be reliable. It's also got long, robust forks, which are difficult to deal with for any machine, even myself, where I've got forks of my own. So I opted for short forks, which I'm really glad I did, because it meant the weapon was exposed enough to hit them. If I'd gone for long forks, which I think was the expected kind of counter to his design, I think I would have struggled to actually get in there. So I'm pleased I stuck with my gut. I just get it back to the pit to make sure it's actually all right, but I think I'm in good place.
Speaking of the design of Gizmo, every year you come up with something new, but this year it's only really the body that is new. Your weapon and your fork package is the same from last year. Is that a time restraint, or you just feel like they were good enough?
So 100% a time constraint. This redesign I started, it's now, what is it? It's now midway through Saturday, or towards the end of Saturday. I started designing this midway through Monday this same week. Finished design on Wednesday, started building it yesterday on Friday. So I had to cut back on some of the ambitions I had for this version, which was a new drum and some of the new front-end stuff. I've just transferred the entire weapon system and basically all the metalwork and redesigned everything else. It's now got a full new Mars drivetrain from my own website. That was the main reason for this. It's got 7 of my own products in it to test bed, really.
So there we go. Thank you for your time, Alice. Good luck in the competition.
Well, we will see what that has done to the leaderboard in just a little bit. Before that, though, our final round 3 matchup, Exhilarator takes on Flint. Flint can play spoiler here. All they need to do is take out Exhilarator. Now, again, easier said than done. Exhilarator, a formidable egg beater, and if they've managed to get that thing spinning how they wanted it, they could be dominant here. Flint, they need to prove everything they've got, put everything on the line. Let's find out if they can. Loading into the arena for our next fight, and potentially our final fight for the heat, is Flint, the pushbot. Their first ever event. They look very, very nice. That sort of sticker job they've done on top with all the skeletons and everything. I'm a big fan of it. It's very cool.
Yeah, definitely so. May not have gone as well as I hoped it would, but for a first performance, they've done exceptionally well. And they had a really, really tricky heat, to be fair.
They've had an incredibly tricky heat. They are up against Exhilarator, a robot that had retired for about 3 years. They came back in this year, and they've done quite well for themselves so far. 1 win, 1 loss.
1 win, 1 loss. And if they get a KO victory here against Flint, then it will be tied up for the heat with 3 machines, which means we could potentially have to see a 3-way rumble later on, potentially.
And with the 3 robots that is, that's going to be exciting. But that all relies on this battle. Let's see what happens.
2, 1, begin.
Exhilarator up to speed. Flint getting across the box this time. They've got a new front end on their robot after the last one was completely shredded. A good little knock from Exhilarator sends them flying, but they land well on their wheels. And by the looks of things, they should be able to drive upside down in this one.
Yeah, definitely so. That front wedge has also taken that hit very, very well, but they seem to be having a few breach issues. Their wheels aren't getting the grip they need on this arena floor. It's not the most even of arena floors after all the hits and knocks it's taken over the years. So it'll be interesting to see if they can counter that issue later on.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that this new wedge that they've put on hasn't hindered them in the fight. Some good hits you can hear from Exhilarator. The egg beater spinner.
This fight could potentially go to distance at the moment. It's not the most one-sided of fights at the moment, although Exhilarator, I would say, is on top at the moment just because of the hits it is getting in with that egg beater spinner.
And you can see some of the marks on the underside of Flint here. Those were big gashes taken out of the robot by Gizmo earlier on, and that's quite a big hit to the side as the armor cracks in twain.
That was a monster shot there from Exhilarator, but it is still going and it is still moving out of the circumference zone, so as long as they don't tap out, Flint are still mobile and could still go to distance here.
Exhilarator having a look to see if they can move out, but I think the Roboteer has tapped out, and that is a win for Exhilarator, which means Heat A is locked up.
Which means a 3-way tiebreak.
And that fight is going to be incredible. Gizmo will take on Exhilarator and Impulse in a 3-way battle to decide who wins and who comes second. And I'm excited for that one. That's going to be good.
Yeah. That was spectacular, but this should be on the back here. In all fairness, you did take some of the hits quite well. You know, I do commend you for that. What do you want to say about that particular fight?
We lasted longer than the others, at least.
That you did. Yeah, that I know you've not done amazingly well, but being new to a competition like this, some of the competitors are really powerful, and the fact that you've managed to last 3 pretty good fights is actually a testament to how well you've done. So don't be disheartened by this. Use it as a learning curve. And will you come back? Will you build a new robot or even improve this one?
Yeah, I'm planning on building a version 2 of the same bot.
Yeah? Well, I look forward to it. I mean, if you can hone in sort of like some of the teething issues, I know it's gutting to sort of see it in this state, but this has been a really good opportunity to get into the arena and fight. So, yeah, you have done really well this weekend. Take my hat off to you. It's not easy.
Thank you.
Welcome back. That was pretty good. That was quite spectacular.
It was in the end, yeah. First few hits only took a little bit, but the last hit did some damage. So,
I mean, in all fairness, Flint did take some of them hits.
Yeah, definitely took some of them. And like I said, the first 2 bouts I was at half speed, so now I'm at full speed. And it certainly makes a difference. So.
From my understanding, you have a 3-way fight?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, 3-way fight next. So that should be interesting, yeah. The other 2, obviously I came first with the first battle and then second with last with the second one. So it could be anyone's game, really.
Yeah. No pressure, because obviously there's some good robots.
Number 1 seed in there, yeah. So it should be fun.
But no, very well done. I know these guys are kind of new, but you were in this position not too long ago as a new builder, and it's one of them things you only learn in the arena.
We've been egging them on all along and sort of saying to them, you're doing really well, spin, do this, and so it's a shame to obviously have to go up against them, but yeah, he definitely is going to be a good little roboteer, so looking forward to it.
Well, good job, Scott. Yeah, good luck.
But it's good because in the last fight, the whole bottom broke, so we had to duct tape it in. But luckily, that stayed fine. But actually, none of the internal components got broken, so it's just the outside armor. See here, this whole part has got ripped out. Even the bulwarks out here, ripped through the plastic.
The hype is real, folks. We have ourselves a lockdown. Impulse, Gizmo and Exhilarator all tie the heat on 11 points apiece. Flint unfortunately finishes bottom of the heat on 3, but a great showing from a newcomer. Let's talk about these top 3 then. Gizmo, they have done well to come back from defeat early on in this heat. They need to keep the momentum going to get through to the round of 16. Impulse, they have done well but had a bit of a slip against Gizmo. Will they see that as the formidable opponent to go after in this one? And lastly, Exhilarator. They won their fight against Flint, as did all 3 of these robots, but can they win this one? Let's find out as we join the trio in the arena. Okay, Heat A lockdown match. This is to see who wins this heat and who comes second in this heat. The first robot out is out of the competition. It's all to play for here. 3 robots enter. Impulse in the red square, Gizmo in the blue, Exhilarator by the pit button. I'm so excited for this.
Robot ears, stand by.
Hold on to your chairs, everyone. This is going to be a bumpy landing.
3, 2, 1, begin.
Up to speed are the spinners. Impulse coming in and a hat being worn. But one of their forks now propped upwards. That's not a great start for them. That seems to have fixed it. Gizmo is upside down.
Complete chaos in the opening moments of this battle. 2 spinners, 1 lifter. At the moment, you'd think that the lifter would be the underdog, but do not count Impulse out. It is quick, it is agile, and it is a tank of a machine that can take the big hits. Gizmo the favourites, of course, because they're the reigning champions. Exhilarator's got shot in the air, and I think they're done for. Oh, one of the wheels has gone as well.
That looks like an Impulse wheel to me, and their forks are up in the air. It's not a great position for Impulse. Gizmo rocked over there, but they're still in this fight, but they rocked themselves over, having to gyro dance back. They haven't managed it. Bouncing around the arena, Impulse's forks are back to right, and the pit button is pressed.
Can Impulse capitalise on this golden opportunity here against
it was almost all over there.
Gizmo
Impulse a little bit stuck on a seam. Coming in for another hit on Impulse is Gizmo, but being pushed around.
What a fight this is! This is exactly what we thought it was going to be. Chaotic and insane.
One of Gizmo's forks now propped upwards, and they rock themselves back over.
Gizmo spent more in this fight on its back than it has on its front at the moment. I'd say Impulse is potentially in the lead, although it is close to the pit, just managed to avoid it there though.
Very good evasive driving from Impulse. They managed to get away, but now flipped over by Gizmo, but they're propped up on the corpse of Exhilarator. They get back down though.
Very nearly took out Impulse there, Exhilarator, but not quite.
Oh,
Goodness, how close
dancing
was
round the
that?
pit.
Right on the verge of the pit. Can Impulse take advantage now? Gizmo right there for the taking again on the back.
Impulse have got him! Impulse win Heat A! And Gizmo will have to play in for their spot in the round of 16.
I can't even speak.
I'm going for a lay down. I need rest. What a fight. Absolute robot combat royalty that fight was. Ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause for our Roboteers.
We are here with the 3 robots that was in the lockdown battle to determine the winner of Heat A. My goodness, gentlemen, you put on one amazing match there. Unfortunately, we do have to lose one, which is Exhilarator. Yeah. How did you do in that match? And any words?
I felt it went okay to start with, but then, midpoint, I lost still power for some reason, drive and motor, yet there was still power on the rear, so something's clearly burnt out inside.
Have you got, is that rear armour bent into your wheel? Is that what stopped that? Oh no, it's cleared, sorry.
Yeah, so that's clear, but that wouldn't spin either. So it's
Yeah.
the whole-
Yeah, it sounds like radio. It sounds like my first fight.
yeah, so.
Yes. Any comments from you two about Exhilarator? About the fight? Was it a good opponent in there?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, absolutely. I avoided it, so I was pretty cagey at the start. So
Yeah, I was umming and ahhing about who to go for, and I think I settled on Exhilarator, figuring I'd rather be hit from behind by Impulse if I go for one or the other than the other way around, than be hit by the spinner. So I targeted you initially, sorry, and then the scrap thereafter that ensued with Impulse was one of the best fights I think we've had today.
I'll let people decide that, I think. But it definitely felt good. So.
I've heard people saying that, literally walking over to the table here, that was one of the fights of the day. So really pleased to at least be part of that.
It was an astonishing fight from all 3 of you. And unfortunately, we do have to lose Exhilarator. Gizmo in the play-in rather than the top 16. Yeah. Has the champ lost his edge a little?
I don't know if I've lost the edge or everyone else is, or maybe it's the same thing, everyone else is just really good. But also, I'm just taking the rough route. I lose the first fight, and I'm going to lose or half lose this fight, and so I just try and win that next one. But yeah, at least I feel like I've gone a bit of a redemption arc. First fight was a bit of a damp squib, but I've had some crackers then since. So.
And you knocking out the reigning champ, that's got to set the emotion off the scale.
Yeah, pretty good right now. I think it's fair to say. It was a crazy fight. That was absolutely crazy.
Are you worried potentially of a rematch with Gizmo if both of you make it through your relevant brackets?
Oh yeah, obviously. Yeah, of course. I think I got a bit lucky here because it was a 3-way melee, so there was a bit of a distraction with there being 3 robots. So I think I was against it when it was maybe a little bit hurt, but yeah.
Either way, an astonishing match between all 3 of you. Commiserations for Exhilarator. Good luck in the play-ins, Gizmo, and good luck in the top 16.
Thank you. Cheers, thanks.
Thank you.
Wow, in terms of a storybook ending, what an impressive run from Impulse, who takes the win and enters the top 16. Gizmo will have to play in for their place, really making them work for that spot in the round of 16. Well, what a way to kick off the series. An awesome heat. Ups, downs, twists, turns, all around. We hope you'll join us again for more. For Anderson Hill, Ty Daly and Jimmy Cottam, I've been Jevon Woodrow. Goodbye.